WWE SmackDown Live Review, the show from March 12th, 2019. They were at Dayton, Ohio. Your commentators were Tom Phillips, Byron Saxton, and Corey Graves. Before I get to SmackDown itself, let me first talk about the whole thing where pertains to their WrestleMania build-up, because I think I think they're doing a good job, or should I say a decent job of building up for WrestleMania for SmackDown. Better than Raw, basically. But at the same time, we don't know what direction Asuka's going to be, what pertains for her being a SmackDown Women's Champion, who she's going to face and all that, because there were rumors there was going to be Lacey Evans, even though Lacey Evans hasn't even had a match. Or she did, it's also a walkway and all that, which is, it's so stupid the way they do it too. And she doesn't record a promo and all that. No signs whatsoever. We don't know what they're going to do with Lacey Evans when we get to it. But we don't know also what they're going to do with Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, where they're teasing some dissension between the two. We don't know what they're going to be doing what pertains to the Iconics, because the Iconics they were on the show, what pertains to Sasha Banks and Bayley, who were the protecting champions for the women's divisions, that they haven't even shown up on SmackDown, and where pertains to them being the SmackDown, where pertains to them being the women's tag team champions. And they're not doing, they're not giving us any clear directions where pertains to Rusev and Shinsuke Nakamura, which is fucking disappointing for me. What pertains to Shinsuke Nakamura, who actually won the Royal Rumble, ends up being at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship, one for him to be an afterthought this year. Fucking disappointment. And I hope he leaves too, so I can be done watching the show too as well. But at the same time, you got Dan Bryan, who's the WWE Champion, which by the way, at least Dan Bryan being the WWE Champion, at least I got my run. It was a good enough run for me. But once he's no longer WWE Champion, I'm done. Too. Basically, what I'm waiting for at this point now is when Nakamura's contract is gonna be up. That's what I'm waiting for. And it pertains to Andrade and Owens and Zelina Vega, what they're gonna do with them, and also pertains to R-Truth and Carmella, and what's gonna happen with Samoa Joe, Rey Mysterio Jr. We already know what's gonna happen with Randy Orton and AJ Styles, but I'm not happy about that either. But the way they're doing the storyline, I'm actually feeling better about that now, based on how they did it. And who else on SmackDown you're gonna be featured on WrestleMania, or maybe some of them is not gonna even be featured on the main show of WrestleMania. Maybe they'll be featured on the pre-show. Basically the bottom line, folks, is that WWE has not been doing a very good job at all of the talents that they got on the main roster. Because we don't know what they're going to do with them when WrestleMania comes up. Especially where it pertains to the NXT call-ups. What are you doing with Heavy Machinery? What are you doing with Nikki Cross? We don't know Ross Sullivan. He's going to be. We know when he's going to come back after he's going through some treatments of handling his panic attack or anxiety attack, whatever. Lacey Evans. I already talked about her. We'll got to wait and see what they do with her though. But other than that, who else can you say that they got plans for at WrestleMania? It's and what's going to happen with Mustafa Ali? What's going to happen with Kevin Owens? As I'm going through a few names here, what's going to happen? All these guys. They gotta do something with this. We already know what's coming with Kofi Kingston. They're doing a story here that this man is screwing over Kofi Kingston on purpose. For the fans to ask and plead more that they want basically this man is like telling the fans how badly you want Kofi Kingston to be in this main event spot at WrestleMania for the WWE Championship. And they want it so badly, even when they had to eject Kofi during a triple threat match from WWE's Fastlane for the WWE Championship. But yeah, this has not been a good build for WrestleMania, folks. 205 Live is doing a better build for WrestleMania on their show. I'll get to that when I do that proportion of the review of 205 Live. But other than that, what's SmackDown doing? I mean, we already know what's gonna happen with Sherman Man and The Miz, which I'm about to get to when I get to it. But like seriously, what's going on here? They should have been giving us, a hint. They should have been playing seeds, at the Royal Rumble, what pertains to the Bills WrestleMania from Raw and SmackDown. Hell, you got NXT from their WrestleMania weekend. They got plans for what they're gonna do for their takeover show. They build up their shows for that one. But what's WWE main rosters doing? What the fuck are you waiting for? Why are you wasting time? Quit stalling, stop hesitating, and do something. Because this is pathetic. It's ridiculous. It's despicable. And it's unwatchable. You're supposed to be on WrestleMania mode. You're supposed to be on the road to WrestleMania. You're supposed to be building up WrestleMania. And you're not doing any of that. It's a damn fucking shame. But that being said, let's get into SmackDown, shall we? So the show opened up with Shane McMahon coming out there. He had the best in the world trophy in the ring. That stupid piece of plastic trophy. Shane McMahon brings in the ring announcer because the ring announcer didn't announce Shane McMahon. So Shane McMahon tells the ring announcer and whispers in his ear to announce him again, and he announces him as Shane McMahon, the best in the world. And then the fans boo, and Shane McMahon basically tells him no, that's not good enough. Grabs him by the tie and is like say it again, say it like you mean it. And then he says it again, he means it this time. And then Shane McMahon grabs him again, this time by here, by the face, and then he's like, say it with emphasis. And he's like, ladies and gentlemen, the best in the world, Shane McMahon. And then Shane McMahon's like, good job. Shake his hand, and they say, now get out of here. By the way, Greg Hamilton, the ring announcer, by the way, for SmackDown. Shane McMahon, this is what he said, what he did to The Miz. He attacked The Miz because he's sick of him, sick of all the people that's in his life. He's not talking about just the fans. He's not just talking about the superstars, but also talking about the employees of the WWE as well, where it pertains to people as always ask him to how to get a promotion, a stock option, all that. And Shane McMahon had enough of it, basically, especially where it pertains to him being behind the scenes and doing everything every day. And he's like, he put a stop to it, and he put a stop to it when he attacked Shane McMahon. And then talk about how he's not the best in the world because he won a stupid trophy. He's not the best in the world because he won a tag team belt with The Miz. He's the best in the world because he was born that way. And then he issues a challenge to The Miz at WrestleMania because he's a part of the Authority now. Shane McMahon can make that match happen. So it's official. Shane McMahon versus The Miz at WrestleMania. There you go. And by the way, Shane McMahon's promo as being a heel, just a generic heel, not from the days when he was in the Attitude Era. Well, I thought it was good. So there you go. We get an 8-man tag team match. We got Aleister Black, who had the entrance, while the rest of the guys had a jobber entrance. No Ricochet entrance, no Hardy Boys entrance, no Bar entrance, no Rusev and Nakamura entrance, just an Aleister Black entrance. But the match itself, I thought was pretty good. And then it got interrupted later on in the end of the match by the New Day. And the New Day beats them all up because they're upset, they're frustrated, they're sick and tired of being treated the way they're being treated. Especially, and basically Fastlane was the last straw. Whatever. And basically the match ended in no contest because New Day interfere. We go backstage and we see the Usos cutting the promo to the tag teams that that basically got beaten up by the New Day. Represents the Bar, Rusev, Nakamura, Aleister Black, and Ricochet, and then they point out the Hardys, and that's the rumor match, folks, for WrestleMania. Two brothers against two brothers go after two other brothers. I think that match should be the WrestleMania match. The Usos versus the Hardy Boys. That will be a very good match. But basically, they cut a good promo, by the way, the Usos, and they ended by saying, "Welcome to the Uso Penitentiary." Then we get to my favorite promo on the show. Randy Orton, he comes out and he says, the house that AJ Styles built. He says, he doesn't understand is that in 2002, where AJ Styles was wrestling for $10 in a high school gym, while Randy Orton made his WWE debut on that year, which is true. And then in 2004, AJ Styles was shaking hands and his opponents in bingo halls, mentioning Ring of Honor basically, while he became the youngest champion. But he didn't mention him wrestling against Chris Benoit. I was expecting to say so, but but we all know how he became World Heavyweight Champion. He beat Chris Benoit, but WWE doesn't want to acknowledge that. So, but he said in 2006, AJ Styles was getting a tan with Dixie Carter. Basically in his time in TNA, getting a tan with Dixie Carter, while he faced Undertaker at WrestleMania. If I remember, Randy Orton wrestled Undertaker WrestleMania in 2005, not 2006. Just saying. He should have said he wrestled for the World Championship. But whatever. No, actually, I think he did say 2005. My apologies, folks. I think he said 2005. My fault. And then he said in 2006, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015. Basically, he said he was here being a champion, and AJ Styles this wasn't even AJ Styles' house that he just wasn't the house that AJ Styles built. Basically, he said this is the house that Randy Orton built, and then AJ Styles comes out. He comes out and tells Randy Orton that someone who looks down on indies, basically the indie wrestlers. He did follow his career closely, basically following AJ Styles' career, which I doubt that, by the way, folks, because it's WWE scripting all these for Randy Orton to say this and all that. So, but maybe he did. Maybe I could be wrong. But anyways, but Styles says that he did came from the indies and he's proud of it too. Damn right he should be. Damn right AJ Styles should be damn proud of it, because he said, he and basically saying that he's heard it said that guys like Randy Orton were made from his world. They were built for WWE, and said that that's good because guys like Orton will never have made it into his world, especially not with a knockoff Diamond Cutter. Especially saying that his RKO is a knockoff of the Diamond Cutter, which is true, but still, it was funny the way he mentioned that too. And then Orton fires back at Styles by saying, Styles, if he or anyone of his indie pals ever ripped off anyone, it was the Too Sweet sign. Too sweet. And I say to myself, touche, but at the same time, the guys that did this, Too Sweet, NWO, basically, DX, basically, the Clique, they gave him the blessing. They gave Bullet Club the blessing to do this. The Bullet Club were endured by, got the endurance and the blessing from the NWO, the Clique, whatever, to give them this, to let them do this. So I'm getting sick and tired of WWE and anyone else that's saying that Blue Club put them off, when in reality they give them the blessing to do this. But AJ Styles says backstage he is that Randy Orton is surrounded by his indie pals, the indie wrestlers that guys like a Daniel Bryan, a Samoa Joe, a Finn Balor, Andrade Cien. Who else do I put in there? a Ricochet, an Aleister Black, a Johnny Gargano, a Tommaso Ciampa. What else could I say in there? Oh yeah, Evan Bourne, Matt Sydal, but at the time Evan Bourne. Xavier Woods, he was known as Consequences Creed back in TNA. The point is, Randy Orton has been surrounded by these indie wrestlers that are now in WWE. The same indie wrestlers that these fans will shit on the indie scenes, will shit on the indie wrestlers, that will shit on anything that involves independent wrestling. And now here are the same indie wrestlers that are now in WWE. At the end of the day, folks, it's fucking wrestling. These indie guys, they're still wrestlers at the end of the day. So you could say, your clever lines by saying indie wrestlers, indie darlings, internet darlings, or vanilla midgets and all that, whatever. I don't give a fuck. At the end of the day, they're fucking wrestlers at the end of the fucking day. Doesn't matter if they are physically fit wrestlers. Doesn't matter if they do the stuff that they do in the indies, and they finally get to the WWE and they do something to show them how good they could be as indie wrestlers. At the end of the day, they're wrestlers at the end of the fucking day. So you can also say these indie wrestlers, these jobbers and all that, all these terms you could throw in there, doesn't fucking matter. They're in WWE, and they finally make it to the WWE and making a name for themselves. No matter how WWE keeps changing them, their appearances or their gimmicks or whatever, they still made it to the WWE because they earned their right to be in the WWE. I don't know, they, in my opinion, they deserve better to be in WWE, but they want to go there. They chose to go there. And you know what? If it makes them happy, fine. Then they should go there. But it's frustrating that WWE is not treating them to the full potential. So yes, all the indie scenes that you fans been crapping on, they are now in WWE. And they're trying to make the WWE better, but so much gets in the way to not make it better, because they're being held back to show the people how great they can be in the WWE. All these great wrestlers from the indies, they can showcase how great they can be in the WWE, but the WWE will not allow them to do that. And I don't get it. I do not understand why they won't let them do that. Hell, also Cesaro, he came from the indie scene, and he wrestled against Randy Orton. And he beat Randy Orton at one point. So I think it's about time that you fans start giving these indie wrestlers and the rest of the indie scenes that they're giving you the opportunity to show how good of a wrestling show they can pull out of whatever promotion they're at. And then they go someone goes to WWE and they try to showcase that because they want the respect that they deserve, and they do deserve it. So it's about time that you fans stop kissing WWE's ass and stop having your heads up in WWE's asses and start showing these indie wrestlers in the indie scene some fucking respect. Because at the end of the day, they're still fucking wrestlers. Doesn't matter if they're wrestling for a WWE, if they're wrestling for a WWE or not, they're still wrestlers. So AJ Styles said that they earned the right to be in WWE, which I already mentioned that already. They didn't go onto their fathers to get a job in WWE. like Randy Orton, by the way. Styles said that Orton's first year, he had help with Evolution. Also had help when he was also when he had Legacy, Rated RKO with Edge, the Wyatt family, and I'm surprised he didn't mention the Authority, by the way. Because remember, Randy Orton had help with the Authority back in 2013 and 2014, you know. But we're not gonna mention that though. And then talk about how Randy Orton won the Royal Rumble. I mean, Randy Orton says that he accomplished being youngest youngest champion at age of 24, 13-time world champion, won the Royal Rumble twice, headlined WrestleMania, performed at 15 WrestleManias. And that's what AJ Styles said, because you had help with Evolution, Legacy, Ray RKO, the Wyatt family, and again I mentioned, I'm mentioning it, the Authority. AJ Styles didn't mention it, but I mentioned it. Basically saying AJ Styles saying that they babysitted Randy Orton a lot. And then Randy Orton. And also Randy Orton said to AJ Styles, as long as he wants to rent a room out of his house, he's the landlord, and the rent is due, you son of a bitch. He said, Randy Orton said to AJ Styles. And then he said, and the rent can be made out to RKO. So Orton leaves. AJ Styles also tells Orton, says, if you want your rent to come and take it, and he points at the WrestleMania sign, basically challenging him to WrestleMania, which Orton didn't answer, by the way. So, but this promo was awesome. It was good. It was the best promo of my favorite promo of the night. I enjoyed it, and I also enjoyed me talking about the indie wrestlers, because what represents AJ Styles always said there, and I want to include myself into this one, because I want to talk about this, so I feel good talking about it too, and y'all guys should too as well. Even to all you WWE fanboys, y'all should hear this too. It's not just about the WWE. It's all it's not just about the stars in the WWE. It's all about all of the wrestling stars, no matter where you are. Please remember that. We get to a non-title match between SmackDown Women's Champion Asuka versus Sonya Deville, being accompanied by Mandy Rose. And match itself, I thought it was decent. Mandy Rose was trying to get involved, but she ended up getting baseball slide by Asuka. Mandy Rose got was getting back up, and Sonya Deville was on their apron. Mandy Rose was grabbing the ring skirt, and she and then Mandy Rose the ring skirt ends up having her tripped, and basically the way that was done with Sonya Deville, that looked like that the ring skirt made her look like she fell. No, basically I wouldn't say she fell, but she kind of tripped basically. And then Asuka goes after Sonya Deville and gets Sonya Asuka lock. Sonya Deville couldn't get out of it, so she taps out. And that was end of that match. And then Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville have more dissension between the two. Whoever Mandy Rose just keeps walking off, and Sonya Deville was looking disappointed. I don't know what they're gonna do with that yet, but I guess they're gonna break them up. Even though we need more women's tag team, but we're gonna break them up though. Speaking of women's tag team, get the Iconics. They talk about how they want the women's tag team titles, except that Sasha Banks and Bayley doesn't even show up on SmackDown. So they basically let them know that we're here on SmackDown, so come find us, nothing, right? And there you go. And they ended by saying iconic, and they did the pose, Alright, Becky Lynch comes out. she comes out with a crutch, only to throw the crutch away. I ask myself, good, because I don't want to see this crutch thing anymore with Becky Lynch, because this whole thing with her being hurt, and also with the McMahons and being included into the storyline, and then adding Charlotte Flair into the mix, it's what started this whole mess in the first place. So Becky Lynch says she feels good walking down the ramp with 2 feet, and she says the man is back. So we go with the man. Oh, by the way, she's got a WrestleMania T-shirt with a picture of Becky Lynch, which, but I guess it's supposed to be Becky Lynch, but it looks weird the way it looks. And it says Wrestle, and then the 3 letters MAN was highlighted. Man, yeah, WrestleMania. Anyways, so she picked Ronda Rousey only for Charlotte to whistle Ray back, to whistle Ray in there because of Vince McMahon. She won the Rumble. She played Ronda like a fiddle, playing mind games and blah blah blah, no brains, blah blah blah. And she says at WrestleMania, it's time for the Queen to step down and for the man to take over WrestleMania as the women's champion, blah blah blah. I mean, the promo was good though. From Becky Lynch, the delivery was good, but it's just like the man thing, it just threw me off. Charlotte comes out. I didn't care for her promo. Moving on. I don't care fuck what she has to say. I'm sick. I'm done with Charlotte's promo, and I don't want to read it anymore. I'm done with her. But she was carrying herself seriously now, based on how I seen it. But I just don't care. I just don't care for her promo anymore. Her promos are garbage. Moving on. Rey Mysterio Jr. and R-Truth being accompanied by Carmella versus Andrade Cien Almas being accompanied by Zelina Vega and his tag team partner, the United States Champion Samoa Joe, in the tag team match. Match itself, it was decent. In the match, Samoa Joe got pinned by Rey Mysterio Jr. After the match, Samoa Joe lost control. He attacks R-Truth, attacks Andrade Cien Almas. I guess they're teasing a match between Samoa Joe and Rey Mysterio Jr. at WrestleMania for the United States Championship, because Rey Mysterio Jr. has never been United States Champion. And I think I may have said this before in the past, either from my channel or from Mr. Ricky J21's channel, where it pertains to the Asylum. If I said that Rey Mysterio Jr. was United States Champion before in WWE, I apologize. Scratch that. I stand corrected. He was never United States Champion in WWE. Just want to make that correction if I did ever say that in the past. But yeah, this is going to lead to Rey Mysterio Jr. and Samoa Joe at WrestleMania. If that's the case, then good. Anyone but Cena, because I do not want to see Samoa Joe versus John Cena. So anyways, then we get to wait a minute, did I skip something here? Oh yeah, I did. My apologies, folks. So after the promo between Becky Lynch and Ronda Rousey, Kayla Braxton was in the office, well actually by the office of Vince McMahon. And Daniel Bryan and Rowan gets out, and Kayla asks Daniel Bryan, what were you talking about, in there? And then Daniel Bryan didn't want to discuss it, but Kayla Braxton kept, forcing it. She was being persistent that she wanted Daniel Bryan to give us something about what was the discussion about. And Daniel Bryan said, "Fine, I'll let you know." This man, he basically said the office of this man, saying that about his thoughts about Kofi Kingston before Vince McMahon makes a decision to put Kofi Kingston, basically what pertains to Kofi Kingston's plans for WrestleMania. And then Kayla says, what was Vince McMahon's reaction for that? And then Bryan says, well, Vince decided to put me and Rowan in the match against Kevin Owens and Mustafa Ali, and that was it. And then after that interview was over, then we had Corey Graves, because I mentioned during my Fastlane review that represents Kayla Braxton, that I think he said something about Kelly Braxton's asking so many questions, like she's April O'Neil from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh my god. So there you go. That was the reference I want to talk about. Because I thought it was on Fastlane, but I just remember it was actually on SmackDown. So. Alright, so Kevin Owens and Mustafa Ali versus Dan Bryan and Rowan. Match itself, pretty decent. Nothing but decent matches on the show, folks. But I still enjoyed it. I still enjoy some wrestling matches here though. Rowan won with the Iron Claw Slam onto Mustafa Ali and got the 3 count in the win. So there you go. Alright, Vince McMahon comes out and he calls out Kofi Kingston, and then New Day comes out with him, Big E and Xavier Woods. Big E says, he's being honest about the mood that he's in, that he's not in they're not in the mood, and Xavier Woods says something about they're never threatened to leave if they don't get what they want, basically. Basically they're like, give me what we want. That's okay. They didn't do that. Basically they're putting on Kofi Kingston of him being there for 11 years. He deserves it, but this man doesn't think he deserves it. And then Big E was like, listen to the fans, man, blah blah blah, and and then this man is like, his ego is his ego, he's justifying how big his ego is, wherever Vince said that, whatever. And basically, this man's argument is that Kofi Kingston doesn't deserve to be in the WWE Championship picture. And then Big E was like, WWE fans, demands it, that they, listen, and basically say, listen to them. Yeah, good luck with that, by the way. This man doesn't listen to the fans anyways. And then, but basically the fans were trying for Kofi, and this man was like, he really wished that Kofi Kingston deserves this, but he keeps telling him he doesn't think he deserves it. He understands he's been there for a long time. He's been impressive. He's been awesome lately. He's been incredible when it pertains to him being in the Gauntlet match and then from the Chamber match of his performances. And he says, yeah, you will go to the Hall of Fame, but not by yourself. You will go in there with the New Day. And that's the problem I have, folks, where it pertains to Kofi Kingston being in the New Day. I would love to see Kofi Kingston in the Hall of Fame one day in WWE, but as long as it's not involved with this no New Day garbage. I wish he was never part of New Day in the first place, but. And then this man said, where it pertains to Dan Bryan. Dan Bryan made a piece of argument that Kofi Kingston is awesome, but he's a good B+ player. Basically, the same B+ player storyline that they went with Dan Bryan back in 2013. Same old shit, folks. Yeah, nothing new and fresh in 2019. So Kofi Kingston starts doing some talking. He says he's not asking for a free ride. He's not demanding a match at WrestleMania for a title, but he said 11 years he was a kid, with a dream, and that his dream came true. Well, with a chance to go into WWE and traveling all over the world, with his family. But he also missed out a lot of things. 11 years, without being with his family, because he wanted to prove himself that he's worthy, and that he doesn't see that he doesn't see it, but doesn't see it that way. And saying that he doesn't complain about anything, which is true, and how he shows up every week, busting his ass, for the people that for the people that was given opportunities, like a Randy Orton, a John Cena, and then a Roman Reigns, and a few others that got it before him, and says that he even though those guys got the opportunities before him, he never complained. Because he still loved his position because he loved WWE. He loved being there, and the whole I'm happy to be here and all that. And he says he doesn't complain how he has been in the ring instead of with his family. He never been there trick or treating for his kids. He's never he said his kid lost his tooth and he wasn't there to be there because his son was excited because of that. Because he was doing what he was doing for his job, and that's being in the ring because he never complained. And folks, when he's talking about all this, cutting a promo like that, he got me there. I felt emotional. I feel like the old fan of me, of Kofi King, as a former Kofi Kingston fan, I felt the old fan of me coming out of me. And basically said all he wanted is to compete on that one shot, that one opportunity of the WWE Championship. And if this man tells him, you really want that shot? I'll tell you what I can do for you. And then also Randy Orton comes out. Yes, Randy Orton comes out. And I see. This is Kofi Kingston's way to get the spot because the same Randy Orton, because of Randy Orton's bullshit, is the reason why Kofi Kingston got that spot in the first place, back in 2009, which was 10 years ago. The whole stupid. Yeah. So okay, so he's got to go through Randy Orton, and then Samoa Joe comes out. What? And then Sheamus and Cesaro, the bar, and then Rowan comes out. And this man make an announcement for next week on SmackDown. Kofi Kingston versus all 5 of them in a gauntlet match. What? So you tell me you're gonna have Samoa Joe lose again? Oh my fucking god. So Samoa Joe, Sheamus, Cesaro, and Rowan get in the ring to go out the New Day, except for Randy Orton. And the New Day beat them all up. Now, if Randy Orton would have been there, they probably would have gotten beaten up. But because Randy Orton didn't get in the ring, they fought them off. So let's see what they do with that, folks. Oh my god, ridiculous. But Toma Wrestling for SmackDown. Four matches. And my overall strength for the show, I'm gonna go 5.5 out of 10. Yeah, that seems good.